I think anybody would tell you when you first meet Killian, she's one of the warmest people you've ever met in your life. And you feel like after about 10 minutes that she's known you a very long time and you've known her. And she hugs people readily, openly, on the streets of Seattle, people she knows, people she doesn't know. She's just a very open and warm person.
Killian is so warm and engaging that anybody who meet her get the same impression. She's just a beautiful person, man. She's got a beautiful spirit, a beautiful heart. What you see is what you get.
Her ability to build relationships with people, I don't think I've met anyone who can do it like she does. It's just true, authentic relationships.
You never felt like you worked for her, you felt like you were working with her. And she always asked your opinion about everything.
You can't greet Killian and not feel like, today's a good day, this is a good person, I'm gonna be loved in this encounter.
What makes Killian stand out from the rest is her caring attitude for everyone that she comes in contact with, regardless of the situation. She has the time, she has the energy, and she has the heart for all those that she comes in contact with.
Samaritan Inns means to me life and hope for a lot of people in our city that normally wouldn't have had it. It was Killian, along with her partner Dave Erickson, that had the idea that people needed to have a continuum of care, and so we opened up the longer-term housing of about 170 units of affordable housing, and that made the difference in people continuing their recovery through the rest of their life.
I worked at Samaritan Inns from 1993 to 96. It was a really exceptional experience. I think the heart of it for me was seeing how Killian and others who are part of the team here really stood with the marginalized and stood with those who are excluded and suffering. And I was drawn to that. A lot of other people were drawn to that. And I think there's something in her that opens people's eyes in a really special way.
Recovery Cafe is a community support center for mostly homeless and formerly homeless people who've been traumatized by addiction, homelessness, grinding poverty, and other mental health challenges. But it's really this incredible concept that uses radical hospitality and welcoming community to bring people in and give them a sense of belonging and worth.
I found recovery here. I'm part of the cafe itself as a member, and their guiding principles, they're every day a part of my life that I try to instill, try to live by. So the Recovery Cafe itself is actually a saving grace place for me. It's a clean and safe environment, and it's just a wonderful place, if you ask me.
A place where people like to see me come, a place where I can go for rest and relief.
Well, I think Recovery Cafe is a really incredibly special place that Killian is one of the founders of, but she has really gathered this community around her. The members of the cafe themselves are a huge part of the cafe and the staff that work with them. But beyond the doors of the cafe, it has so touched the Seattle community, and what Killian has allowed the community to do is to come in and be part of Recovery Cafe, to not just support it, but to work here and meet the members and get to know them and what their lives are like. And that has just been a huge gift to Seattle and something that wasn't here before Killian arrived.
The cafe, in a sense, is a great antidote to all that despair and hopelessness that you have in the world. Like, this is one response that is changing people's lives and that someday I hope will be all over the world.
For me, it's like the second coming, and I have a chance of something better.
It's very expensive for a city to maintain its social services to support people that are struggling with alcohol and drug abuse and homelessness. And a program like Recovery Cafe that really works to help people achieve long-term recovery takes a lot of pressure off city resources. So just from that standpoint, it has a huge impact on Seattle.
Recovery Cafe has had an impact, I think, even beyond what Killian first imagined. She imagined a community that would be a safe, healing place for people, and it is absolutely that. But she came to build one small community at first. And what she's doing now is having a ripple effect across the state. The state is looking at her model and saying, how do we do this everywhere? We have people flying in from DC and from California to learn how does the Recovery Cafe function and do what it does so well. And I think ultimately she's going to have impact not just at the community level, but state and countrywide. And that is not something she set out to do, but it shows you how well what she's doing is actually working for people.
Killian definitely embodies the motto Pro Humanitate. I mean, she has basically dedicated her life for humanity and in the service of other people. And, you know, it'd really be impossible to calculate the number of lives that have been not only touched but transformed by her work.
I think she learned some of those values early at Wake Forest and then going on to Yale and then at her time in the Middle East. And she brought all of that back home, so that wisdom that she learned in school, she then now carries out into the community, and she does it with compassion, which is part of that motto as well. There's nothing that Killian does that doesn't come from a place of compassion. And what I see Killian always doing is trying to touch the divine inside of people, help people find their truest and deepest self, and then touch that divine in themselves. And I think she believes that if they can touch that divine, then they can touch the divine in others. And that comes a lot from that motto.
Killian, congratulations on this amazing honor. I'm so honored to be here, to be able to talk about you as a great humanitarian and as a great friend. And I look forward to celebrating with you soon in Winston-Salem.
I'll just say thank you for being such an amazing friend over these 20+ years. And if you're sitting next to her, be careful, because she's going to pull you into something.
Killian, you're my dog. I can't imagine life without having met you, and thanks for the liver.
I would say, Killian, if I had to have one wish for my children, I have one on the way, that they would grow up to be like you.
What I'd like to say to Killian is that one of the greatest blessings of my life is having Killian have moved to Seattle over 15 years ago, and to be able to call her a friend. She is a remarkable person. She's an inspiration, and she teaches me to be true to that best place in myself. And I love being able to walk the journey of life with Killian. It's a great honor and blessing.
I would say thank you for introducing me to Mother Teresa.